The card for Wrestlemania Backlash has been changed. It's been altered. It's got some tweaks and a little bit of manipulation from Vinnie Mac himself. Today we are talking about the changes to that tag team title unification match that we were supposed to get. Roman Reigns is in the mix. I want to talk about all of this. What's going on? Let's go. So for weeks now, I'm pretty sure WWE has been advertising and teeing up this title unification match between the Raw Tag Team Champs, RK Bro, and the SmackDown Tag Team Champions, the Usos. I'm pretty sure they've all been in the ring. I think they've been having matches together. I think they have been hyping this up on multiple shows, and we've seen advertising and graphics and so on. Plans have changed. The card is subject to change, ladies and gentlemen. On the last episode of Monday Night Raw, we saw this change. I gotta tell you, I was thrown for a loop, my friends. I thought I missed a whole 2-3 weeks, or that I dreamt everything up. This is no longer going to be a title unification match. This is now going to be just a standard 6-man tag team match. The Teddy Long special, if you will. Now we are going to see RK Bro team up with Drew McIntyre to take on the Bloodline, the Usos, and Roman Reigns. No titles will be on the line, nothing is unified, just holla holla tag team match, brother. So I started to wonder, why would they do this? Well, are they bored, or they just figured out they wanted to do something different at the last minute? I know that WWE changes their minds on storylines. Often they drop stories out of nowhere, people get let go, and they just ignore their existence completely. They don't write them off as TV at all. But this one they had put some time and effort into, and they just immediately tweaked this thing on the spot. One of the theories coming out is from Dave Meltzer himself. He has the following quote from the Wrestling Observer Radio. Quote, "The idea was to save Roman Reigns and Drew McIntyre singles match as far as the pay-per-view version for a bigger show." The transcripts here are coming from Wrestle Talk. So the idea is they're not wanting, according to Meltzer, they're not wanting to give away the Roman Reigns Drew McIntyre one-on-one title match just yet. Which, if you're WWE, you couldn't think of this like 3 weeks ago. You couldn't figure out, what are we gonna do with Roman? Oh, we're gonna have him face Drew. Maybe we want to do that right now. We'll just shove him in the tag match. I mean, you could have made it very interesting too, couldn't you? Where you could have had Roman Reigns, the Usos, go up against RK Bro and Drew in a unification match, keep it going, shove it all in there, and you just have the Usos come out on top. If they were gonna do the unification match, if they still do the tag team unification match down the road at Money in the Bank or something, and the Usos win it, then what would be the point to any of this and tweaking all of this? Just have the Bloodline go up against the other team and win all the gold if you're gonna do that anyways. Unless they got cold feet on that and they don't want to pull the trigger on that, which could be due to the fact that maybe their ratings are not as strong as they want out of WrestleMania. We know that WrestleMania season is peak ratings and peak viewership, and it's starting to die down. There's playoffs happening on TV. There's a lot going on to take viewers' attention away. You can have Roman Reigns on TV every week, but if he's just coming out to do a Bloodline Acknowledge Me promo, fans are gonna start to just tune out a little bit if you're not going to put him in a match and put him on TV doing stuff. The pay-per-view lineup that we have for WWE is going to be Hell in a Cell is tentatively scheduled for June the 5th. We've then got Money in the Bank, and then we get into SummerSlam. Money in the Bank is the interesting one for me. Hell in the Cell, you could put Roman in a cell. If you did a 6-man Hell in the Cell match, that'd be pretty cool. So maybe they want to revisit this thing and do the unification, everything is on the line inside Hell in the Cell. That's a big blockbuster match then. WrestleMania Backlash, it's Backlash. Not a ton happens. They're finishing off storylines from WrestleMania, or they're rehashing it and they're doing things like Ronda and Charlotte again. The other one is we also have the big WWE UK show happening in September. This would obviously be after SummerSlam, but if they're going to do a gigantic show in the UK, and it's the first time they are doing this since SummerSlam in Wembley Stadium in '92. This is a huge deal, and to me, they need to make that show bigger than SummerSlam, on par with a WrestleMania. If they do what they invest in with the Saudi Arabia shows, you need to be doing a ton for the UK fans. And that's where I think you could get away with a Drew McIntyre match versus Roman Reigns. So if they're eyeballing things down the road, you want to set up more opponents for Roman. I get why you don't want to pull the trigger on Drew McIntyre right now, because again, if Drew is not going to win now at Backlash, which is not a big enough show for them to do this, they should hold off on that, but they should have just held off on the feud entirely. Why not put in Shinsuke Nakamura? We'd finish up WrestleMania and Shinsuke is on SmackDown and he gets beaten up by the Bloodline and poof, That's it. Shinsuke is no more. He's gone. You had a storyline. You could have just put Shinsuke versus Roman at Backlash for the title, for both the titles, one of the titles, whatever you want, and Shinsuke can lose, but put on a killer match. And fans would be fine with it because we elevate Shinsuke again where he should be. He should be a top player. You give Shinsuke a little bit of a rub so he can go off and do something else. Roman stays strong. Keep him off of Hell in a Cell or do the 6-man at Hell in a Cell. They have a lot of options they could have done. I'm really curious how this will shape up and really how the next few months are going to go, because we're going to get into Hell in a Cell and then we're going to get into Money in the Bank. And Money in the Bank, I think this year is critical to see who is going to come out on top on the men's side. And is it going to be Cody? Is it going to be Drew? And what is it going to set up down the road for Roman Reigns? You all let me know in the comments, what do you think about this whole change of what we're getting for the 6-man match? Now it's going to be turned into a big schmoz. Thanks for watching the show, and if you enjoy episodes like this one, hit that like button, let me know, and I will see you all in the next episode. Bye!